Hello YouTube, and welcome to another edition of the In the Ring Show with your host, Devious Damien. I'm doing this video right now to talk about a hot rumor that's been going around the rumor mill in the past 48 hours of the WWE. First, it was rumored that, not Batista, but Brock Lesnar was on a 50-50 chance of appearing at WrestleMania tomorrow. And now, the rumor has gone from that to he has signed a one-year deal. Now, the validity of this rumor, I can't confirm whether or not it's valid. I don't know yet. I'm not sure anybody will actually know till tomorrow, because even if this is true, you know that the WWE is going to keep this hush-hush. They're not going to let anybody know until we actually see it happen, if it has happened. So if this is in fact the truth, there's also been speculation about three opponents, that Brock Lesnar could be facing for next year's WrestleMania. They've hyped the possibility of Brock versus Undertaker. They've hyped the possibility of Brock versus Rock. And they've also hyped the possibility of Brock versus Stone Cold. Now, 2 out of the 3 matches I'm not particularly interested in seeing, only because we've seen them before. Brock and Undertaker, seen it before, don't really care to see it again. Brock and Rock, saw it once, wasn't too keen on the match itself, don't really want to see it again. The only match that would kind of pique my interest is Brock versus Stone Cold, but my only problem with this now is it's 2012, and let's face it, Stone Cold is out of his prime by quite a bit now. So, could he really have a good match with Brock Lesnar at this point? I don't know. I don't want to say yes, but I don't want to say no. It's kind of one of those, you're kind of on the fence about it. Maybe he could, maybe he couldn't. I'm not really sure. I personally think that Brock and Undertaker would be a mistake. And I'm not saying this as a fan, who doesn't want to see it again. I'm saying this in a business sense. Why would you take The Undertaker, and I'm going to presume that they would put Brock in there to end the streak, so why would you put The Undertaker in there with Brock Lesnar, have Brock Lesnar end the streak, when it's a one-year deal as of this point, and I'm going to assume that's all it's going to be? Why would you have a man who's going to end the streak, who's just going to be leaving the company anyway? It makes no sense. I'm going to say this. If you're going to have a man end the streak, it should either be a young up-and-comer who really needs the victory to establish themselves as a mega superstar, or 2, it should be somebody who has pretty much accomplished everything there is to accomplish and only needs ending the streak on his resume to just broaden it. So, I'm going to say that, excuse me, as far as plan B, a man who's accomplished everything there is to accomplish except ending the streak, currently, I think only 3 men currently fit that category, have won pretty much every title in the WWE. John Cena, Triple H, and Randy Orton. Those 3 men have pretty much won every title there is to win in the WWE, and really don't need to accomplish anything else. So, I don't think Triple H should be the one to do it. Not just from a personal, but even from a business standpoint, I don't think Triple H should be the one to do it. So therefore, that leaves you with John Cena, Randy Orton, the 2 choices. For business purposes, I'm going to put my personal feelings aside here. For business purposes, I would pick John Cena. Cena versus Taker at Mania 29 would be huge. Because You know, and maybe you could even have Cena cutting a promo to the effect of, I've accomplished everything that there is to accomplish in this business. I've got nothing left. All of a sudden, Undertaker pops up. You've never beaten me. And then they run off that, and then that's the premise behind their Mania match, is that that's the one thing that Cena has never been able to do, defeat The Undertaker. And so, you, like I said, you run with that to WrestleMania. And then he gets to, if Cena ends the streak, he accomplishes two things. One, he finally defeated The Undertaker. Two, he was the one who ended the streak. You know, so, and honestly, unless WWE can get somebody into that spot soon after this year's WrestleMania, get somebody prepped for that spot for next year's Undertaker match at Mania 29, if there's going to be an Undertaker match, unless WWE can get somebody prepped for that spot, like, within a month or two after WrestleMania. And I don't mean, like, you know, thrust them, like, right into the concept that that's where they're going. But, I mean, they need to, like, slowly prep this guy. Like, you know, just have him doing different things as, like, preparation for an Undertaker match. And if they don't start doing that, then there's only one choice you got left. You have to have Cena and Undertaker if you don't start prepping somebody else right now. Or, excuse me, a couple months after WrestleMania at the latest. It makes perfect sense. It truly does if you really think about this. So, I mean, those are my thoughts as far as Brock Lesnar and Undertaker's streak and who should be the one to end it. Yes, I've had this debate many times, but I mean, there's so many different ways you can look at the scenario. That's why. There's also been rumors about Batista coming back and Brock versus Batista at Mania 29. I personally don't want to see Brock and Batista. Some people might say, you're crazy. Why don't you want to see Brock and Batista? Okay. So, we get two muscle-bound freak shows here who... Okay, one can actually wrestle because he was an amateur wrestling champion. And then we got another guy in there who doesn't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch. So, that would mean you'd be... if you have to figure out who doesn't know the difference between a wristwatch and a wrist lock, well then I should smack you upside the head because you should know who I'm talking about. So, but I guess I'll just come around and say it's Batista who doesn't know the difference between a wristwatch and a wrist lock. He doesn't know the fucking difference. So, that would mean Brock Lesnar would have to take what wrestling ability he has and carry the match. And I don't know if Brock could carry Batista to a match that would be Mania quality. I just don't think Brock could do it. I mean, no disrespect to Brock, but I just don't think he has the capability of getting that out of Batista. I just don't think he does. You know, it would take a Shawn Michaels. It would take, you know, a Triple H. It would take somebody who can, you know, make just about anybody look good in the ring. Shawn Michaels was the best at it. Shawn Michaels could wrestle a lamp and make you believe the lamp could actually beat him. I mean, that's how good Shawn Michaels was. Shawn Michaels could actually do that. But, anyway, what's your thoughts on a possible Brock Lesnar appearance tomorrow? Or perhaps even a possible Batista appearance? What are your thoughts? Like this video, subscribe, comment down below. For the In the Ring show, this has been your host, Devious Damien, and tomorrow I'm going to have live reactions from WrestleMania, so be watching for that. For the In the Ring show, Devious Damien here. Good night, everybody.